the Bengals-Steelers rivalry, I would say it's intense.
It's the best rivalry in all of football.
The nastiest rivalry in sports, so it's defined by this. It's defined by physical play. It is intensity magnified.
It's the AFC North, what?
You just feel the energy going throughout the stadium, man.
Just keep fighting, man. It's not over. And just stay in it, play with energy, enthusiasm.
Putting yourself in the best position that you can to try to seize that opportunity when it comes your way on Sundays.
There's no place like home. After nearly a month away from Paycor Stadium, the Bengals return to the jungle, looking to take down their long-standing rival. Welcome in to Bengals Weekly. I'm Marisa Contipelli. The Pittsburgh Steelers make their way to Cincinnati this weekend as the Bengals look to advance their playoff push with a win. So as we get you set for this AFC North heavyweight battle, we sit down with tight end Mike Gesicki and roll the film on some of his top plays as a Bengal. ESPN's Field Yates joins the show and tells us where Jamar Chase stacks among the fantasy numbers. And on Countdown, I'll tell you what player has historically lit up the stat sheet against the Steelers. But first, the Bengals are fresh off of the bye week, so we thought this would be the perfect time to turn back the clock and relive some of the best of mic'd up moments from the season.
Remember, I'm mic'd up.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, how's Mike, all right? I'm fast today.
Yeah.
Let me get some of that. Hold on. No, don't try to hold it. Let me get some of that. Hey! Little hands. Let's go.
Oh, Mike, come on.
Come on.
Hey, we gotta score right here.
Yes.
Let's get in there.
Come on. No.
Burrow rolling right. Now he throws. Caught right at the goal line. It is a touchdown.
Yeah, baby. Ah!
Hey! Come on now! Hey, you ain't gonna talk to me? Oh, come on, man.
Come on, Mike! Come on, Mike! Get with us!
Yeah! Yeah. Get that AFC North, what?
I'm near you. I told you I'm coming. Talk to me, baby.
Trey Hendrickson adds to his sack total. That one might be shared with Sam Hubbard.
Get on, Sam.
Huh?
You,
Blake. We're screaming at the ball, but let go.
in the pile, we're talking smack.
I don't know. You better find out. You know you did it, though. You know you did it. You didn't do it.
That's y'all the win. Feel good about that? I'm just saying. You feel good about that? I respect. I got my team rolled on that screen.
It's crazy. I'm sorry.
Great job!
Well, coming up next, we take a deep dive into the tight end world as Mike Gesicki breaks down some of his top plays of the season. Bengals Breakdown is next, here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Mike Gesicki has quickly fit into the tight ends room here in Cincinnati, as the 7-year NFL veteran has stepped up when his number's been called. And he's also had some fun with an iconic celebration. We now sit down with Gesicki in this week's Bengals Breakdown.
I was afraid of this. I was afraid that I was going to have to review that.
You don't have to. You don't want to.
No, I will. I have to own up to it. I can't hide from it.
Gesicki doing the gritty. A one-handed catch by Mike Gesicki.
So here we go again. Very similar. We're just using Jamar right here because of the attention that he's going to, draw in a play to try to get this linebacker to step up and attach to him. It could really go to two different guys here. I just ended up, based on how the play's drawn up, I ended up popping open first, so Joe was able to put it on me right away down the field. On the sideline before this drive, the quarterbacks kind of alerted us, like, hey, if you're running this deep through, just make sure you're alert and get your head around, because we can put this ball on you with the depth that the safeties were playing at. Once that backer stepped up and covers Jamar right there, then you see that window open up with the safeties deep. I'm coming open, and T also comes open in that next window right behind me. So great play design and executed extremely well. On this film review right here, we're using Jamar as a decoy. We got blitz 0, bringing everybody, and we knew that potentially blitz 0 was gonna come up. I heard them yelling screen. So the second you hear that, it's like, okay, like I'm either gonna be open or Dre's gonna be open, and my guy took the cheese, and now I'm wide open, run up the inside edge of the numbers. I'm thinking, do not get caught. That's the first time in my life, high school, college, NFL, that I've ever scored a touchdown like that, where you catch the ball and you got green grass in front of you like that. So it was a cool feeling. I've been playing football for a long time, so to finally have an experience like that was fun.
Burrow catches the shotgun snap, begins scrambling right. Now reverses direction, throws into the end zone, and is caught in the back left corner by Mike Gesicki.
Right about now is when you just lose all the thought process in your mind. You're like, I just scored a touchdown. This is the coolest thing in the world. And now I'm thinking, all right, where's Jamar? I'm letting the people know, okay, here it comes. This is what everybody probably besides Jamar has been waiting for. I'm sure he wasn't overly excited about this. And then I decided to come in here and just absolutely embarrass myself by putting that together. And that's what you get, man. You get Jamar saying, what the heck is this guy doing? But I deserve to get laughed at, and it was a fun moment.
Well, the holiday season is upon us, as is the time of giving. This past week, the front office and a few players wanted to give back to the community during this Thanksgiving week, as it's a time to reflect and show gratitude for all that we have to be thankful for. And helping those in need this holiday season remains a priority for the organization.
I can hand it to you. God bless. Thank you for coming. We're partnering with Fifth Third Bank. I believe our third year doing this event, and we're just trying to do our part to help fight food insecurity in the greater Cincinnati area. Oh, I'm getting too excited. How's it going, folks? Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate you, man. What's up, y'all?
Food insecurity is a huge issue here in our city, and the idea that our Cincinnati Bengals, our hometown football team, is here to actually participate in that, so it means a lot to all of us here.
Today we're doing our Thanksgiving meal drive, and this year we decided to switch it up and do it at the Shakely Boys and Girls Club. For an hour we got to hang out, get some energy out in the gym, play all types of games, and then the second hour we handed out the meals. All right, let's get your meals.
It helps out our caregivers, it helps out our parents.
Here you go, you ready?
It's just a little extra. Maybe if they may not have something, it's a little extra to add to the table. If they were struggling to see how they're going to get Thanksgiving in general, this is saying, here's an extra hand.
When you're playing football, you have wins and losses and a lot of things that you can really get focused on. Then you come here and you realize that the interactions that you have with a kid can really change the trajectory of their life. What's your name? Addie, thank you. I'm Sam.
We were watching how Sam was doing some one-on-ones with the kids, and that's something that they'll always remember. It's just making those connections and those memories that they wouldn't get anywhere else.
It's our off day. There's guys here who don't have to be here. Vets like Von Bell, Jake Browning, our punter Ryan Rico, some of the Bengals. I think it's really special that we can be here. We can help how we can, and truly use our platform.
It says that they're committed, and that they're committed to this community, and they're committed to helping people who are in need, and helping people, quite frankly, to have a great Thanksgiving.
Every time we see them, they're smiling. We're handing them turkeys, we're handing them potatoes. It's good vibes, and it's really cool to be out here. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity.
When we return, we check in with ESPN's Field Yates to preview Steelers versus Bengals. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly. It's rivalry weekend as Cincinnati and Pittsburgh go head-to-head for the 110th time. We now welcome in ESPN's Field Yates to the show as he joins Dan Hoard to give us his preview.
Our guest this week is ESPN football analyst Field Yates. Among other things, a fantasy football expert. Leading to this question, Field, is Ja'Marr Chase having one of the great wide receiver fantasy football seasons of all time?
He sure is up there. I tell you what, he's done a lot in 3 and let's call it half seasons into his NFL career. But in recent weeks, he has also reminded us that in a single game, there is no player who is more explosive than Ja'Marr Chase. So he has been a joy to have on your fantasy football roster this season. That much is for sure.
To make the playoffs, it probably is going to require a 5-1 finish, maybe 6-0. Does Joe Burrow make that possible?
He does, with the way he's playing right now, and I know that we don't hand out the MVP award after 2 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks, but at least if you're putting together a potential ballot, Joe Burrow is on that ballot, and he's been so impressive with the usual suspect traits, right? The accuracy down the field, underneath, intermediate throws has been great. I still think he is the best in-pocket navigator in the entire NFL. His capacity to buy himself an extra half second, buy himself a little bit more time and space. And he is a good athlete, obviously. He can do some damage with his legs, but he's so smart about finding ways to buy himself a bit extra time in the pocket that rather than scramble for 8 yards, he might turn it into an 18 or 28-yard throw down the field. He has been nothing short of remarkable this year. He's playing maybe the best football of his career, which is saying a lot for a guy that started the Super Bowl early on in his career. But Joe has been brilliant.
First place Steelers are coming to town this Sunday. They've got a record of 8-3. What are some of the biggest keys for the Bengals to get a badly needed win over Pittsburgh?
This is a Pittsburgh team that wants to run the football and do so right between the tackles. So Pittsburgh, I'm sure, wants to control the line of scrimmage, find ways to wear down that Cincinnati defense and not allow Joe and the 2 wide receivers to do their thing. But if you can find a way to play this game more on your terms as the Bengals, you got a really good chance, because I don't think Pittsburgh is the kind of team that's built to play or run a race offensively. They want to find a way to grind things out, almost a 1st to 20 type of game.
Field, love picking your brain as always. Really appreciate your time. Keep up the great work, and thanks.
Thanks for having me on, as always.
Well, this Sunday is our annual My Cause, My Cleats game, as players have the opportunity to honor and bring awareness to causes and organizations close to them. For Amarius Mims, it's an honor to wear the names of his great aunts who passed due to cancer.
My name is Amarius Mims, and I'm supporting the American Cancer Society for My Cause, My Cleats. I just feel like it needs to be more vocalized, and especially in today's world. A lot of people are dealing with cancer, no matter what type it is, but a lot of people are dealing with it. I know people in my family were affected by it, and those are both my great aunts. One of my aunts, Maddie Williams, she had breast cancer. Every time we got a family gathering, like I said, we'd gather at her house. And then my other aunt, she had lung cancer. Her name was Mary Taylor. We used to always go to the fair every year, and the memory I had with her, she always wanted back a candy apple, but she wanted not just a regular candy apple with the caramel. She wanted the glossy red one. I guess it was I don't know what kind of candy apple it was. My mom or somebody in the family always made sure we brought her back some. So those are some great memories I had with her. And I feel like it's great for athletes to, pick the cause that they want to support, to show, like I said, people who are dealing with any of the causes that, that we're supporting, just like that we're with them. I feel like it's a great cause to support, and I'm behind it.
Up next is Contipelli's Countdown, where I'll tell you what Joe Burrow accomplished that hadn't been done by any quarterback in Bengals history. Stay with us here on Bengals Weekly.
Bengals Weekly is brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And Alta Fiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. When the calendar turns to that final month of the year, well, T. Higgins heats up. 5 of Higgins' 13 career 100-yard receiving games have happened in December, as the receiver seems to play his best as the year winds down. Since his rookie season, Higgins ranks second in the NFL with 10 receiving touchdowns and is 7th in receiving yards during the month of December. T is fresh off of his best performance of the season after hauling in 9 catches for 148 yards against the Chargers. And the last time prior to that game where Higgins teed off for at least 140 yards was Week 16 of last season against Pittsburgh. In his last 2 outings against the Steelers, Higgins has put up over 140 each time, as his 575 receiving yards against Pitt is the most he has recorded against any team. Now, T is averaging over 81 yards per game, the highest of his career and 7th most in the league this season. And with Jamar Chase averaging 96 yards per game, well, the Bengals are the only team in the league this season to have 2 players averaging more than 80 receiving yards per contest. 75% of the Bengals' wins this season have come when Higgins has suited up, as Joe Burrow is averaging 8.5 passing yards per attempt when number 5 is on the field. Well, in Week 11, Joe Burrow became the first quarterback in Bengals history to throw 12 touchdown passes in a 3-game span. He's also the first QB in the league to do it since 2021. Shiesty became the first quarterback in NFL history to record 50 or more pass attempts, 350-plus passing yards, 3 or more touchdown passes, and 0 interceptions in back-to-back games. And as for Chase, he is only 227 receiving yards away from reaching 5,000 for his career. And if he accomplishes this feat in Week 13, Chase would become the 5th fastest in NFL history to reach the 5K mark in just 57 games played. And with 7 more catches, Uno will become the first player in NFL history to record 80-plus receptions, 1,000 receiving yards, and 7 or more receiving touchdowns in each of his first 4 seasons. This season, Jamar has posted a league-high 4 games with multiple receiving touchdowns. No other player in the league has more than 2. And Chase Brown is coming off his first career game with at least 50 rushing and 50 receiving yards, making it the second time this season where he has posted over 100 scrimmage yards in a game. Brown is among the league leaders, averaging over a 52 rushing success rate, as the second-year halfback is on pace to finish the season with over 1,200 yards from scrimmage. Brown also takes aim this weekend at his 4th straight home game with a touchdown. Contipelli's Countdown is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. To learn more, visit kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. It's now time for this week's Kettering Health Fantasy Report. T. Higgins had his best outing of the season in Week 11, posting over 29 fantasy points and finishing as the 2nd highest receiver of the week. Higgins went off with 9 catches for 148 yards and a touchdown against the Chargers, as this marked his 5th straight game in double-digit fantasy scoring. Joe Burrow continues to light up the stat sheet, throwing for 356 yards and 3 touchdowns in LA. His 29 points were good for 2nd most among all QBs for the week, as Week 11 marked the 3rd straight game where Burrow has posted at least 29 fantasy points. And Jamar Chase once again eclipsed the 20-point mark for the 3rd time in the last 4 games, hitting 26.5 points thanks to his 7 catches for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Chargers. Chase continues to sit atop the receiver leaderboard for the season, averaging almost 23 points per game. Thanks for tuning in to Bengals Weekly. Kickoff Sunday for our My Cause, My Cleats game against the Pittsburgh Steelers is presented by CareSource. For Dan Horde and our entire crew, I'm Marisa Contipelli. We'll see you next week.
Bengals Weekly was brought to you by Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. AltaFiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals.